everyone, and welcome to a Fields of Zen tutorial. Pardon me, tutorial. I'm Scorp, and I will be showing you, starting today, I'm going to be publishing 3 tutorials real quick, but starting today, I'm going to be showing you an easy way to chop down trees, and especially large ones. Oh, you'll have to excuse me. It's like I'm flubbing my words. So, welcome to Fields of Zen. This is my lovely house. It has many layers. It's a multi-layered house. I'm going to switch back to first person because I might actually switch to third person. Okay, that's a little less confusing. For me. Anyway, this is still very confusing. Alright. That quick, I just gotta put that down in the background. So, let's take a spruce, 1, 2, 3, 4, and an oak, and we will take some bone meal, and then I'm going to show you 3 ways to do it. Okay, I'm going to show you 3 ways to easily climb the top of a tree in order to chop it down. You'll have to excuse me. I should have actually organized my life before I did this. So we're gonna come over here. This there. I'm gonna drop all this crap in, with the exception of my axe. And then what you're gonna need is obviously your trees. I'm gonna show you on oak the normal way and on spruce the large way. You don't need bone meal, but yeah, I'm just going to use it to make the trees grow faster. You're going to need vines. You're either going to need vines, you're going to need scaffolding, or you're going to need ladders. Now, these are the 3 ways I know how to do it easily. You may actually figure out a better way yourself, and if you do, congratulations. I'm going to put the bone meal over here. If you do, good. Share it in the comments. So, to make a giant tree, I only cut down giant trees. To make a giant tree, you take 4 saplings, and then you either wait for them to grow naturally, or you can bone meal them, and they will make this massive tree. Now, the spruce will create this podzol. Not podzol. Yeah, podzol. The spruce will create podzol around it, and that's just a decorative block right now. So, that doesn't really do anything. But, okay, so we're going to do that. I mean, it's neat. I keep it for my tree farm. Then I'm going to come over here, and we're going to make... I don't know why I bothered grabbing 2 saplings. I've forgotten creative. I don't need to. Oh, that one pushed me into the ground. That one's not going to grow. That's not really that high. Let's try, you know, I could just fly into nature and find a high one. Okay, so what we're going to do, obviously the easiest thing to remember when chopping trees is if you take all the wood blocks out like that, then the leaves will all eventually disintegrate, so you don't have to take out every leaf. Okay, so first, I'll show you on the oak sapling. Now, I'm going to do, was it stack? No, that's more. That's what it is. More. I'm going to do more. Just make a whole stack of ladders. They're very easy to make. I wish I could look at my little book. Actually, I'm going to go into survival, not spectator, survival, because then I can look at my little book. Oh, search. I don't know if I've ever made a ladder before, actually. No, I've never made a ladder before, but I know they're easy to make. So, what you do is you just go up to your tree, and you can even place them as you go up. Now, when you get to here, you hold shift, and it'll hold you in place. See, it won't let me fall. I can go up, but I won't go down if I'm holding shift. and then you break. It'll take a little while to break the leaves above you, but you break the leaves like this until you get to the very top of the tree. And see, like this one's taking, what, 15 ladders? And we're not quite done yet. And you can use a tool to break the leaves faster. I don't, because I don't like just wasting resources. But alright, so when you get to the top, ooh, don't, by the way, don't pull back. Release shift. Don't hit S. You'll actually come off of the ladder, and you don't want that fall. Okay? And then now you're at the top. Alright? Now, I'll show you an easy way to chop them down, but I am actually going to do that after I show you how to do them all. Now, if you have vines, it's actually very similar. Vines act like ladders if they're against solid blocks. So you just keep doing this, and then we're gonna cut the leaves again. Yep, and they just act like solid vines, or solid blocks. Now remember, very importantly, you must harvest vines with shears. You can't just break them with your hand or they will give you nothing. So you have to use shears to actually harvest them. So this is more like a one-time gig if you don't want to have to use iron. But if you have shears and you don't care about making, if you have a lot of iron and not a lot of wood, let's say you have a lot of iron and not a lot of wood, and that's why you're having chopped trees, well then, there you go. You just make shears and you cut a bunch of vines. They're in swamp biomes and everything else, and alright. And we're at the top again, okay? And then they act like the ladder. You release shift. You hold shift to stop from falling. You release shift to go down. If you move forward, you'll actually drop off of them. Now, the third and final way to do this that I found is the easiest is scaffolding. Now, how scaffolding works is if you place it down at the base of something, okay, you look in the direction and you place it, whoops, let me try that again. You look in the direction and you place it at the top and it will go in that direction. And that's really neat. But you can do the same thing upwards. Anywhere I place the next scaffolding, as long as I'm looking at this tree, it will go up instead of forward, as long as I'm not placing on the top. If I'm placing on the side, but here's the thing, you can do that just by feeding into the one at the bottom. You can just feed it up, and then from then on you hit space, you hold space to travel upwards. Now if you get to this, you go down and you start feeding more, and you just go up. This is the fastest way to do this. Because if the leaves weren't in the way, you would actually get all the way to the top. I'll show you actually when I get to the... And the best part is you don't have to hold shift and you don't have blah, 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 blah. Now, yeah, I'm going to show you this real quick. I'm going to hide the surprise till later. But I'm going to grab all the scaffolding back. Then we'll have a surprise ending at the end. And then you just do this. No leaves in the way. It'll shoot all the way up until you're out of scaffolding. And then you just hold the space bar and straight up you go. It's the greatest stuff. And this can be done through water. Scaffolding won't break in water. Scaffolding won't break in lava. And then the other thing is what I was talking about, the scaffolding is if I look this direction, boop, now it's going that way. And if I had more scaffolding, I think you could do up to 5 or 6 or something in one direction to actually build, to build out the way I held shift so I wouldn't fall. And I forgot, on scaffolding, shift goes down, space goes up. And once you get to the top, you'll jump like normal. But you can't stop from falling by holding shift like you can on any other block. Now that you're at the top of the tree, and the ladder and the vine was a little bit, there we go. Now that you're at the top of the tree, okay, when you get your, ooh, see how I started to fall? When you chop down the blocks in front of you so that you can walk up onto the tree. Now, oh, are you kidding me here? Here, take a leap to the face. Hey, whoops. Well then, I hate those things. I don't know if you can actually hide from them in scaffolding. Yeah, I can. Yep. This is my butt. Aren't you gonna die already? Okay, there we go. So, when you get to the top of the tree, sorry for the interruption, what you want to do, it's the easiest way to do this is stand in between two blocks. Like I'm not directly on either of these blocks. So if I chop the block underneath, you notice I don't fall. And what you're going to do, you are just going to chop all the blocks around you like this. And as long as you're standing in between blocks like that, you'll never fall lower than the block you're chopping. And it doesn't matter, like you see me whoopsing and making accidents and things like that. It doesn't matter, because all you're doing is you are just chopping straight down. And if you do it this way, even with that gap, you see that gap I've made? I will never fall and hurt myself because I'm considered still on one of the blocks. And then there you go. And as I said, it's important. You notice all of my vines disappeared. Vines cannot be harvested by breaking the block behind them. They will grow down. That's you always seen vines on my things, and that's because they will grow down. So this is the easiest way to harvest vines, is you put them someplace. They'll grow sideways and down until they hit something. And so now I can use a shears to just clip these and have vines. But you saw the ladders. I've got all of my ladders now. And so I ended up getting a stack and almost a half of wood from that one tree, which is why I do it. And it took me, 10 seconds to chop the whole tree down. I mean, and then with scaffolding, one of the benefits of scaffolding initially is that you can just hit the bottom and it'll break all the way up. But I can see I have 18 and I'm supposed to have 24. And what happens, whoops, is it 1? Yeah. What happens is if it's in a leafy tree, it falls on some of the leaves. Now, as you can see, the leaves are disintegrating, so that's not that big of a deal. But if you're afraid the leaves won't break within the 5 minutes so you can get your scaffolding back, go up there and break the scaffolding that's above the up here, and then come down and break the bottom. So like, I would come up here, and if I had, so it just goes up and if I had these, I would actually break, on the scaffolding, I would break up here to get all of mine back, and then I'd come down to the bottom, and then I'd break them from the bottom like this, and that would ensure that they don't get stuck on the trees. How did I end up with 39? Oh, that's right, because I kept my inventory number. All right, now on to miscellaneous large tree. So here's a miscellaneous large tree that's doing outstruts everywhere, and it's literally those same 3. You are going to find the main base. The main base will never, except for acacia trees, the main base will go straight all the way to the top of the tree. So you are going to take your ladder, you are going to take your vines, or you're going to take your scaffolding, and you're just going to go up this tree. Now, the important thing is I wouldn't bother chopping any of this wood right now. I would just make your way to the top of the tree. And the reason for that is that, okay, so we're at the top. The reason for that is when you get to the top of the tree here, and you break these leaves and whatever, you'll have a much better view of where all the wood is. Now I can see how big this tree is, which means there's definitely wood going out in that direction. So what you want to do is, you see that? We can see that we have wood down here, and by not just immediately chopping randomly, we can actually make paths for ourselves. And here's the thing, as long as this block of wood is here, these leaves will stay here. So you can completely carve the entire top layer of tree off. And of course, I'm just doing it in creative to be faster. You can carve the entire top layer of tree off, and none of them will fall out from underneath you. So then, come down here, and we're gonna find how far this one goes. And since it's thick over here, it makes me think that there's probably one within range. But the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna chop these. Now, before you chop this last one, make sure you have a route back to the top of the tree. So we're gonna chop those. And then we're gonna just watch for a second. Because if these leaves don't start disintegrating, then that means, yeah, right there. Then that means there's a limb. And you'll kind of pick this up. You see those dark, how it kind of gets dark when you look through? So we chop those. Yep, see that? That leaf just disappeared. And that was because this wood is what's supporting this branch. I forgot the radius, but it's like 5 blocks or something. So if I chop this, all of this will start disappearing because it was exactly within radius. And then that is what you end up doing. So now we can confirm that there's no more wood at this level, so we can go down a level. And we chop these. And you can see that there's, like, that is a thick brush. Is that a different tree? No. No, that's the same tree, so, whoops. Always make a path back. And always be careful. Be slow and cautious yeah, see? Look at that. When you look down, you can see right through. If you have your texture on fast, I think, or this is fancy, one of the two makes them not opaque. So when I break that, and I break that one, you can see that this starts going away now. Oops. Ooh, good thing that was that log there. Whoops. You remember what I said about being slow and cautious. Okay, back up to the top of the tree. And then this is just basically what we do. You break these, you go down a level, and you start looking where the thick part is. Yep, I broke that, and this started disintegrating, which means let's break these two. I can tell there's one there, but I thought there was one higher. I feel like there's, oh no, guess not. No. See, that starts disintegrating. We'll break those two, and we'll break our way down here. And then see some of the leaves, just like that. Some of the leaves may be supported by trees next to them. Ah, see? I knew there was one of those dang things in there. Some of the leaves may be supported by trees next to them. So even though I broke that one, there is a good chance that some of these leaves will stick around, and it's because this tree is here. Okay. And usually you can tell where the treetop is if you're jumping along them, because it makes a T above it. And that it makes that T because the wood usually spawns with a block above it and one block to each side on the top level. There are some exceptions, but usually it's a T and a square like this. The next layer down spawns with that same T, but it also spawns with a block in between. And that is how you can tell. Oh, there is a log in there. No, I'm just crazy. I'm going to deforest this a little bit so that that all goes away. The difficult part about an actual forest is that sometimes the trees are so close that they never go away. You've got to chop down 6 trees in order to make these things disintegrate. But there, that's going away. Did I miss one? If you found out you missed one, simply build what they call a noob tower. No, I didn't miss one. Okay, we're going to make it light again. Build what they call a noob tower, which is a tower straight up with dirt or whatever. See, I feel like, okay. It's just not disintegrating fast. And there we go. And that's how you do it. And no matter what tree type you run across that's huge, you find the center, you go up the center to the top of the tree, and you start taking layers off. And as you take layers off, you will discover the wood. Or if you get good enough to figure out like that this piece of wood is actually holding up, you know, it's making this T, here's the T for it again, and there's probably another piece of wood in the middle of there, then you can just do it that way, but just be very careful with big ones. I only ever do the 4 saplings. I only ever do the 4 sapling trick because, can it not be done with oak? No. But oak can do something different. If you bone meal oak, or if you just let it grow, it can actually grow next to each other, like literally touching each other. No other tree can do this. Oh, that one grew. No other tree can grow right next to each other. Oak is the only one, I believe. I will save that for a different day. All right, thank you very much for, whoops, I hate this inverted camera control thing. When you're looking at yourself, but the controls are the same. So thank you very much, and I'll see you for the next tutorial.